your second lesson, let us look back and see what were the most important things you've learned from your first lesson.
That you want to do.
Welcome back, everyone, to some more matches that were happening here. Actually, two of them going to be happening in this block right here. We've got one more of the losers bracket matches coming up here, and I guess also kind of following on from the previous match, the winner of this match will go up against Indonesia, who did just beat Vietnam in that losers bracket match here. I am Potassium F. Joined with me this time is Mifa. How are you doing today?
Hey, hello there. It's been quite fantastic actually for this weekend. Especially we're running on the second half of the tournament, which time really does fly. But at the second half of the tournament, where semifinals, map pool do get increasingly intense as time goes on, and especially for these two teams that we're actually going to be spectating here, South Korea versus Peru. Quite a bit of a seeding gap there, but it is to say that doesn't mean Peru is not going to be holding up much of a fight, because Peru got to this point. Being the top 12 for this tournament is absolutely insane, in my opinion.
Yeah, they've been performing well above expectations, I think, of a lot of people. They've pulled off a couple of upsets, seeding-wise at least, throughout this tournament. And overall, honestly, just been playing really, really well, just in general. A couple of their scores, even last week, you see them hitting like the third best team in some of these maps that they played in the quarterfinals. So they've been putting up some really fantastic team scores just overall. And I wonder if they can keep it up here. One thing that I am kind of concerned about right now, looking at some of the logs here, is I don't see one of their key players online for Peru, being Anku.
Oh yeah, Anku has been one of the main key players, at least for Rise, which Peru has been eyeing for most of the approach for against South Korea in this case, and doesn't seem to be anywhere in the lobby right now, or at least I would assume that it probably is just gonna be. I would hope that they keep preparing outside of the server, but hopefully we get to see that in. But seeing the bans and the protects, I guess Peru doesn't really want to touch LN, so they banned the also original one, and South Korea opting to not playing Stamina Char or whatever.
And interesting for me to see Peru protecting Hybrid 1, it looks like. I would have expected Peru to be going all in on those Rice maps in particular. That is where they've seen their best form, really, so far this tournament, in some of those more straightforward Rice picks, I would have to say, like the Rice 2, Rice 3, like what South Korea has banned out. But looking like they might opt to go for the hybrids instead, potentially, as we get later on in the match.
Yeah, it might be one of the fresher approach, because I have seen Peru been picking quite a bit of Rice picks in particular. Not necessarily all hybrids, but they have been eyeing for, I guess, in terms of picking strategy, where South Korea might a little bit on the weaker side of the hybrids, but instead Peru's actually still going on the right side of things. We're going to Gigashow Infinity, which you would say this is a kind of a hunt-up approach to the pick.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of Peru's more comfortable picks relative to the rest of the pool here. Something that they have been doing well on. Of course, all their Rise picks, they've shown some pretty crazy team scores, very consistent with their Rise, but so is Korea. I mean, Korea, despite being in the losers bracket, they are seed 3 for a reason. They're the ones that are expected to be able to, at the very least, make it close to that top 3 position in the tournament.
Yeah, although I will say that seed 3 at this point doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, given the top 3 seed differences are just minuscule enough that they might just be equally matching, honestly.
Yeah, we've seen how like different teams with different seeds have performed throughout the tournament, and yeah, it feels like so much of these like top 15, top 16, top 20 teams, really, they're so close to each other that on any given day, it feels like some of these teams can perform really big upsets in this tournament.
Yeah, on the other hand, Peru has been the longest to survive in terms of the lower half of the seeding. This is quite a commendable performance for this tournament so far for Peru, but this is an uphill battle, like for sure. You have to fight it out against South Korea, which are not an easy endeavor to play against. Which they have their prime roster for the most part for South Korea.
And we'll see who Peru ends up sending in here, still missing one of their players. Zinkotrapus coming in here for Peru, not a player that I think has been playing for them recently, but I do think they are still missing a couple of their players who aren't online. I guess understandably, I'm just looking at the time zone, it's 7:30 AM for Peru right now.
Yeah, it is a bit of a. I mean, I guess they do like they're at their best in the mornings or something like that. It could be something to that.
Yeah, unfortunately, maybe getting a bit of a short end of a stick sometimes with the rescheduling. That happens with big time zone differences like we have here.
I mean, let's be honest, it could be worse in terms of reschedules.
Yeah, I mean, reschedules are hard sometimes when you have so many different countries, right?
You have the other end of the world, and then the other one's on the opposite, polar opposite.
Especially when you have conditional matches to schedule as well, making sure they fit in the same weekend. Definitely sometimes a bit tricky, but it looks like we are getting their third players in here. Lolito joining the lobby.
Yeah, hopefully these are the main team for Peru going forward. Although they've been missing, I think we're missing some players, but hopefully they should be joining in the I guess in the server should be pretty soon.
I think the Peru players that have really been crushing it on some of these Rice picks in particular have been Dendro, Lolito, and Anku. So Anku gone definitely does hurt them a little bit, but I think Lolito previous weeks had the name Yokmao, so if anyone remembers that name, that is just kind of like a name reverse, it seems like there.
Yeah, sometimes kind of get a little bit lost in I guess in terms of name change. We guess that gonna have to keep memorizing if it ends up happening for name changes.
But on the other side, South Korea, they have a fully stacked roster themselves. Gex and Nard, two Rice specialists on the side of Korea. And Bushan usually would be seen in the LN maps, but of course, very well-rounded players overall, so I'm sure they can be playing most of these maps. And we'll see. First map here, first pick for Peru. Let's see if they can get off to the right start in this match.
Yeah, mostly on the sharpshooting side for Bushan, like you said. I guess in terms of all-roundedness, they should be at their upper limit, on the upper echelon in terms of physicality. But this accuracy for South Korea is actually on average 99.9 against 99.8-ish for Peru.
Yeah, and Zinkotrapus dropping an accuracy down to 99.4, and more 200s coming out with these dump patterns as well. And there's a miss right at the end of that burst, so South Korea off to a strong lead early on into the map. Still with their 3 full combos, still all 3 above 99.8, as Nard does drop a little bit of accuracy there. Peru's still holding on to their 2 high 99.7s.
Even though it's ultimately a trade between Nard and Zinko, Nard's job is just that 1 miss, and everything else around that is just relatively clean, and it's still like a 5-digit lead already for South Korea.
Yeah, that accuracy does do a lot of damage when there is a big act difference, and yeah, even with that miss from Nard, still matching the highest accuracy on Peru's side. And there's
one combo gone to Dendro.
That was a big miss as well, down to 99.6, so the accuracy lead grows, the combo lead grows also for South Korea. And oh wow, what just happened there? The whole 3 players in the bottom row? That actually does favor Peru slightly, but Zinkotrapus does take a pretty heavy act drop along with the miss.
Taking quite a bit of heavy hit on the dump patterns here. The only ones left standing is just the one for each team, Peru and South Korea. Gex and Lido trying their best as they can to hold on to the FCs relatively. But on the other hand, I mean, the lead is just pretty much unrecoverable.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gex absolutely destroying this map. 99.87? Dropping a little bit at the end.
There you go. Still a full combo from the leader there. Only FC survived, which is my Gex.
Really solid one. Also, the best ratio in the lobby as well. So, yeah, I mean, overall, you can see the difference in accuracy here. Not just the 300 count, but the 200 count as well. All in the single digits, 3 or less for the South Koreans.
Yeah, this is just tough to deal with, especially when you're at this level of at this stage of the game. You would normally see struggles on accuracy, but against South Korea, which are their primary team in terms of Rise and everything. Although Bushan might not be trying to tackle on the Rise side of things, but it's still performing much better than you would give them credit for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're really seeing the effect of, I guess, like what's showed in the seeding here. South Korea is the team that you would expect to have that higher level of physicality later in the tournament. And Peru, despite being able to win so far, they've had all of their wins through really, really high accuracy, consistent performances with FCs on their side. But it seems like maybe this pool might be starting to reach their limit in terms of the physicality and keeping up that accuracy.
Yeah, this time though, South Korea picking pixel pattern, which are the LN density, which 222 BPM extremely base patterns, or I guess most likely semi-inverse things. This fits the bill for South Korea's one of their biggest strengths, and it should be a good pick for them.
Yeah, Korea, very, very well-rounded team overall. They just showed what they could do on the Rise, but they have super strong LN roster of themselves. We just saw Poker bravely join into the lobby. That is the big name to look out for South Korean LN ability.
Although we've seen Peru might have a swap here, or it's just not in the correct position in the lobby. Still on the same three main players for Peru. Seems like they're not swapping any, unless there's some substitutions going on.
And it seems like South Korea is not swapping either, which is interesting to see. I don't typically associate all of these players in the lobby here as LN players necessarily, but obviously very well-rounded players nonetheless. So we'll see what they can put up in the density pick here.
I don't associate Gex being a long-lived player. I mean, they played, certainly, but not to this extent. Maybe this is where the density gets to play in favor of Gex, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, definitely if you were to pick an LN map that you would assume that Gex is quite good at, it would be this LN2 point, where we have, I guess, more straightforward release timings overall. Much more kind of like jump streamy kind of patterns, which do tend to favor the Rise players a little bit more than the other LN maps.
Oh, Lolita already tanking to the 98% in the intro there.
Yeah, big early miss there. That's going to give South Korea a very nice early lead, as all their players off to a pretty good start. Gex does have decently low accuracy relative to the rest of the team, but still enough to keep South Korea in the lead, as Lolito's still recovering that accuracy.
Zinkotripas is releasing overholding way too late there. It's now taking a miss there. They're tanking to almost below 98 there.
Yeah, that act difference is going to be really hard for Peru to overcome here. Dropping down again, another miss down to the mid 97s, and this lead is going to start ballooning out of control really quickly.
Yeah, this seems to be too fast for Zinkotripas to keep up here. Now down to 97 range here. But on the other side, South Korea are just doing what they do best. Even though with Gex, which we typically don't associate with playing LNs, but seems to be holding out relatively well.
Yeah, a bit lower accuracy compared to the other South Korean players, but still, I mean, at this point in the tournament, you're definitely thinking about combo more than accuracy with some of these picks, so managing to hold on to that full combo is more than enough in this scenario, and we can see this lead. Oh, that looks like a massive lock from vv25653746.
That is a massive lock, and it doesn't seem to be playing density a lot there.
Yeah, looking like too dense overall. Dendro does pick up a miss, so 0 full combos on the side of Peru. And it looks like South Korea is going to close this one out with a triple FC.
That might be the first fail that I've seen in this entire tournament. This is just very rough if you don't have the capability of handling some of these longer density, especially at this speed.
I mean, on the bright side, it would not ultimately have mattered. At the end, vv25653746 was not the only one there that could not keep up with South Korea. We can see the point lead 1,600,000 or 1,006,000 points. So even if vv25653746 did get 1 million score, in theory, that still would have been South Korea's point in the end.
Although 1 million score is like a kind of a metaphorical kind of difference, but yeah, it's just impossible to get a 1 million score anyways.
Yeah, absolutely not. Would already be impossible in round of 32, let alone semifinals here, on an LN map no less, but let's see if Peru can pick something maybe they're a little bit more comfortable with. I would say Rise 2 is probably the most comfortable map they can find on the board here. It would have to be a Rice map. And I think out of all the Rice maps here, this one may be a little bit more straightforward than some of the other picks.
Yeah, I guess this pick is just decent for Peru here. Whether or not the third player is able to keep up, and with potentially having to beat out some of the South Korea's accuracies, it's a tall thing to ask. But instead, South Korea will have Citra instead of, I guess, Wushan in this case. It's probably not for South Korea, but I'm not sure if not being swapped out in this case.
And this is not the map that I would expect Poker to have come in for, but I mean, Poker is kind of like more of an accuracy specialist himself. So it makes a bit of sense. If any of the Rice maps, I would imagine this would be the Rice map that Poker is good at.
Yeah, Poker is like the main all-rounded player that we've seen through the previous tournaments that Poker has been participating. Even in 2022, like Poker plays in like every single skill sets involved in the tournament. But having them in Rice should be a good refresher for not to be able to practice everything else.
And this was the type of map that I know that players like Dendro were cooking on quite a lot in previous rounds. So we'll see if this time Peru can keep up on a map like this against South Korea in the accuracy department.
Seems to be holding on relatively well.
Yeah, looking quite strong for both teams in the early stages of the map.
It is definitely much closer than the difference you would imply, but Poker seems to be a little bit on the hitting on the earlier side of things. But the leads are taking a 200s on that too, which leads gonna go to South Korea a little bit.
It looks like Lolito and vv25653746 dropping an accuracy very slightly over time, but Dendro finds the miss. That was the big accuracy.
Poker does trade it. Trade. 2 misses on Poker's side.
And actually, maybe this lead might start swinging towards Peru. Maybe they need one more miss because it looks like accuracy lead's still in South Korea's favor after those misses.
There he goes.
Poker does miss one more time, struggling in the combo a little bit.
Peru really needs to hold on here. It's 1,000 Knights being driven into their nerves here. Peru needs to hold on. And it's now shrinking the lead because of the accuracy. vv25653746 is dropping ever so slightly.
Well, the accuracy slowly is going to start going towards South Korea over time because South Korea do have the better overall accuracy, it feels like. So the more they build those back up, the more it's going to go back towards South Korea, but it looks so close right now. The end of the map, that's 500 points.
Oh, 200 from Citra on the transition here. This is starting to get sketchy because the lead is still nothing.
Every single 200 matters so much here. Even regular 300s, we're in favor
Who's
of
gonna
Peru
win this?
now.
Actually,
Citra,
oh my God!
wins a 200 at the end.
Oh my, 738 points. That is
Citra
the difference.
Oh my God, Citra at the very end got a 50. That was a 50 at the last few seconds. To really capitalize on their LN advantage. We saw Peru's third player did not look very comfortable on some of those LN patterns before.
Oh, hang on. this is a bull pick.
Oh, that's spicy.
Oh,
we're going right into Hybrid 3.
I guess South Korea does love Testify-esque pick. And this is the one that you're gonna have to clench your fists to not be tilted because of how this map is structured.
And this one we definitely saw as well on the previous match. Big potential for some large drops on either side. I think South Korea definitely not immune to that either on this one.
We haven't seen the other original, but we'll take this one. This one is this one not only is such a banger, but it is also funny.
Oh yeah, I mean, you see the lineup of mappers for this, Abraxos and Fola, and you know already instantly what kind of experience you're in for.
If you're a veteran, like most players do from South Korea, you know what to expect when there's a name on the mapper itself.
Very strong mapping styles associated with these two mappers here, and we're going to see exactly the cause of that here. Lots of misses expected here, lots of accuracy drops as well. Poker going to be the first victim actually coming out on the side of South Korea. But not
the
going to be
trip is already below 98 here. This is the one where combo is gonna matter a lot, but your accuracy is gonna be in such a sacrifice.
Yeah, and this accuracy so far still needs to be recovered. Zinko still on that 98% AC. And as Poker already recovering quite well, up to 99.4, this is going to be South Korea extending their lead over time.
You know, a map is so hard where no one actually has more than 99.7 this quarter in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can just see, look at these LNs here, and Lolito does mess up on some of them. Buschan does actually trade it back, but still advantage South Korea looks like does not dent that score lead whatsoever.
The only full combo left on South Korea being Citra, and actually Dendro and Seiko Tripas is still managing to hang on there. I mean, I guess the score lead is not that big, all things considered, but 2 misses instead of like a 1 from Peru's side might be in terms of advantage, but I mean, at this point, you still have the last quarter, right? This is where it gets spicy.
Yeah, definitely opportunities for this lead to shrink, but It's up to Peru now really to hold on to their combos, and Lolito does find another miss, or repeated misses with the act drop. Bushan does
trade it here.
Yeah, traded back a little bit, so going to stem the bleeding somewhat, but still this lead is growing over time.
It's still staying around the same just because of this this snapping of the longness here. It's just very freeform. Even though still missing on the Lolito's side, it's growing more and more here in favor of South Korea.
Yeah, about to hit that 40,000 mark, and Korea's just looking too consistent overall. Bushan does find another miss, but it's fairly clean. Not enough to make too much of a dent. There's two misses on the side of South Korea, but it's traded by the one on Peru.
Peru only has one FC left here. Are they going to get it or not? It's just another question. Poka finally missing on the big combo there after the first miss here. But actually, the lead's kind of shrinking a little bit. Citra actually kind of get a little bit complacent there at the end.
Everyone on the team of South Korea just found a miss, but it doesn't seem like it's going to dent the score quite enough. It drops the lead back down to 24,000, but it looks like Korea is performing well enough. They are safely in the lead in this outro.
That is a massive W for Dendro for holding a full combo this far in, and that is a full combo.
Yeah, we're not going to see many of those on a map like this. We can see even a team as strong as South Korea not managing to get any of those full combos, so props to Dendro there. Zinko Trippus also holding on to that combo for the majority of the map, but not quite enough for Peru overall. The accuracy wins out on this time here for South Korea.
Good attempt there for South Korea to pick up a bold move there for picking this, but ultimately it's really just average accuracy is what really keeps them afloat most of the time. Even though the misses definitely has higher miss count by the look of things, but it definitely shows that South Korea's average consistency is not to be messed around with.
Okay, and we're not wasting any time here. Peru picking Rice one of their best picks remaining out of these ones. They seem to be more comfortable with, the more straightforward Rice picks overall, and this one, quite hard overall, quite fast, but it is one of the more direct speed maps, not very technical.
Yeah, this is where Nottingham's coming back in for this one. This is the most physical, the most strongest player available to be able to play 350 BPM stream, and some of them are even hard patterns in there.
We'll see if Peru can snag their second point of the match here. They're going to need to if they want to keep this match close. But Korea also going to be wanting to keep their lead at the same time.
So far it is okay for the intro. Everyone's at the accuracy that you would expect for both of these teams.
Yeah, keeping fairly light in the patterning, at least early on in this map. It does pick up quite a lot in the second half, which is where we will see big act drops or combo drops if they do happen.
There's a couple on, on Peru's side. Zinko Trippus dropping a few 200s, or maybe just very late hits to contribute the amount of 300s there. Not rainbows necessarily, but still not dropping full combo here. Still a good, decent heavy hitter. But when you get to the stream sections, right here, it's just all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, this is where we might see some fireworks fly from either side, but everyone holding consistent, at least so far. Lolito does drop a little bit of axe, so does... Oh, not actually finding a drop. That might be enough for Peru to take it back.
Average accuracy is still on South Korea's side, so you still need to regain that footing here.
It's not really that much on the South Korean side. Citra finds a miss. Peru now clearly in the lead for what feels like the first time this match, but Zinko Trippus back with a big one.
Oh my god,
Down
that's a
to
2 missing back.
99.4 and another
Oh,
miss. Back-to-back
losing
South
steam
Korea.
here. Synchro Troopers losing steam here at the end.
And it was looking so good for Peru there, but unless South Korea finds a massive drop in this outro, it's looking like they're going to win a break point here on Rice 1. Nard does find one.
Yeah.
Imagine if this map was any closer. That miss could have meant a lot. But South Korea managing to get through that, they are going to be very thankful for that one because it was definitely Peru's point to lose at the end.
They barely escape unscathed at the at the death of the misses from Nod and Citra there, but they should be very thankful that Zinko Tripas just losing steam at the end there, because all those misses are just that one particular scream.
And there's going to be South Korea now getting their own pick. 3 points up, could reach match point first here immediately. And I'm actually not sure what the pick strategy has been for South Korea. LN2 into Hybrid 3 is such an interesting first pair of picks that I'm not sure what they want to go for next.
Gunslum, yeah, because it's just the one of the many physical hybrids left.
Rice 4. What do you mean?
Okay.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Okay, I don't get it. I'm gonna be honest. I
Okay.
don't get South Korea's
Hey,
picking strategy
hey.
here, but
I mean,
it's working.
South Korea's picking every single skill set involved. That's rare, at the very least.
They're trying to pick like the complete opposite sides of the map pool. Like, as far as the LNs and hybrids, you could not get further apart from Hybrid 3 and LN2. Those are like so opposite maps out of that side of the map pool. And then we pick the complete other side of the map pool, Core Jack.
I mean, taste testing this far into the tournament, especially in semifinals, is generally frowned upon. You just pick whatever your strengths are good at. I mean, South Korea is good at Core Jacks, and this works for them. But at the same time,
very good at Core Jacks. I would have to agree with you there.
At the same time, in terms of just picking strategy or whatever the tournament IQ or whatever what it's called, it's just all over the place.
Yeah, I expect some of the Peruvian players to be quite strong at this as well, given what we've seen in some of the Rice maps so far. But of course, Core Jack, sometimes it's just its own category of map. Even if you're really good at Rice, sometimes Core Jack is just a bit too hard for some players.
Yeah, also, good shoutouts to Dorjan as well for having the debut for Mania World Cup, because Dorjan is mainly for the Step Mania charter, so having to get that in for this particular pick is kind of refreshing to see.
I was seeing a 100% on Gex up there for it. Wait, it went back! Oh!
Nah. This is just way too much of a complexity of long jacks, or jacks, I should say.
I mean, Peru so far doing well overall, but their accuracies are starting to slip a little bit. Lolito dropping down below 99.8, and so does Zinko. It's only Dendro trying to keep up, but all 3 South Korean players above 99.95. 2 of them on that 9999. Oh, man.
Poke us back at the 100% of in terms of percentile. It's just crazy to me. And even in patterns like these are, like polyrhythmic core jacks. Like just look at that.
And this is a crazy team performance so far for South Korea. Still a lot of the map to go. But right now, Peru are far enough behind. They need a big mistake from South Korea if they want to come back in this, because they're not looking as comfortable. Zinko does find that miss, though. Down to 99.65, and this lead now for South Korea is going to feel so massive.
This second half, where you would expect just extremely good accuracies, but I did not expect to see 99.98 this far in. because all things considered, these are not comfortable core jack patterns to deal with.
Absolutely not, and you would think not really at a comfortable BPM either, but that's not seeming to affect any of the players in this lobby right now. Nah does drop a 200 there, dropping below Dendro's accuracy, but Poker finding a miss actually.
Poker finding a miss, that's that one singular miss, and Gex might drop like 100 somewhere, but it's actually at least kind of closing in a fair bit there.
Yeah, Peru's not too far behind. Realistically, this could still swing back the other way, but it's going to require maybe 1 or 2 more misses from South Korea to be able to do it. Zinko is still a little bit behind in the accuracy, but Dendro and Lolito absolutely matching their counterparts on South Korea right now.
Yeah, they're trying to hang on. Lolito, the second miss on the Peruvian side here. Only 111 is on Dendro. South Korea still has 2, and their accuracies are still pretty much intact.
And that last one pretty much does it there. Now this lead ballooning up to 20,000 points. No way South Korea can lose this one at this rate, even if they find a couple misses right here.
Oh, 100. Gex 2 100s there, actually. That tends to happen with core jack. You just get, like, non-200 judgments.
What was Gex's 300 count? 61?
Huh.
Wow. Almost scoring on double S from Poco as well.
I believe I think I saw the chat predicted like 72, which is even better. 61.
It's almost right between Poco and Gex's 300 counts.
Well, that is core jack for you. You do very good at that tempo. You just blast everything.
And strong performance overall from Peru. It feels like, if they did miss just a couple times less, if they managed to get those 3 FCs, there was an opportunity there. But not quite going to be the case now. South Korea already on match point, 1 point away from eliminating Peru. What? What is this?
This match just has the weirdest pick strategies.
I did not expect this one.
You would expect Peru to keep on the rise field, but no. Kind of funny to see this now, especially when this chart is just anti-rise players basically. But IBE is coming for South Korea this time, replacing mostly Gex. As you know, this is just where LN variety is coming to play, and IBE is very adept at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very strong player for South Korea as well. And of course, Peru still stuck with their same 3 players. They don't have anyone else online, it seems. So it'll be interesting to see how they do this. I would have thought maybe going for the Rise still would have been a good idea, but we'll see if Peru can prove me wrong. It did look like they were not so comfortable when it came to the LNs earlier this match, but maybe this LN4 might be different for them. We'll see.
Yeah, this has some spurts of long nodes. Not necessarily density, which Zenko Tripa seem to lack in terms of the tempo of the stream. This just has everything in it, and maybe variety would really help to read some of these for Zenko Tripas, but the third players definitely would be the one thing to highlight here. I can't take this song seriously because of that, because of this, how the cat sound or whatever that is.
And right out the gates here, we do have South Korea in a accuracy lead overall. Zinko does have that 98.6, so falling him a bit behind the rest of the players here. Very tricky LNs to be able to time, so 200s, super easy to accumulate.
Zinko Tripa still has the same issue of overholding some of these long nodes here, and now dropping air. It's just dropping constantly, actually. 98.3, and now it's still dropping.
Yeah, these LNs are super short as well. Dendro getting the first miss there, followed up quickly by Zinko, so double miss for Peru. South Korea still with all 3 full combos.
Yeah, this is just a much more dominant. I guess you would call Pixel Planet even more dominant. This one is just a showcase where South Korea is not to be messed around with in terms of their strengths and longness.
Yeah, this lead only looking like it's going to be growing over time. Zinko still having a bit of struggle maintaining the accuracy, dropping down to the 98 flat. And it is Poker at the top of the lobby right now, 99.77, the only one on pace for a 990k score right now, it looks like.
Yeah, Nun is on there too, on track if they don't drop too many 300, normal 300s that is, or 200s even.
And a fairly long map as well, we're only just passing the halfway point now. So this lead is feeling quite insurmountable almost in favor of South Korea at this point.
Yeah, still managing to recover quite nicely after those misses, and they managed to get back on track with still very high combos here for a lot, like for all of these players now. So hopefully, at this point in time, that lead is just much bigger because of the accuracy difference.
Yeah, absolutely, we can see Lolito and Nard both with pretty much the same score, it looks like overall. Dendro also keeping up with I'm Yi in terms of the accuracy as well. So it is really just the act difference here between Zinko and Poker. Large difference between those two players is creating this score lead right now. And I mean, can't really blame him. I can't think of many players that can keep up an accuracy like Poker's is right now, 99.75.
Yeah, it's quite a feat to achieve on its own right. Like 99.7. Even not is approaching 99.7 too, which that's no way. Is this a 3-way FC?
It does look like it's a 3-way FC for South Korea.
Oh my god.
Closing it out on a break point. And South Korea is going to eliminate Peru in 12th place. Top 12 here for Peru. A really, really strong performance, you have to say, from the 20th seed coming into this. Not a team that people necessarily would have predicted getting this far into the tournament, but they have proven why they should be here.
Oh wow, I would count Zinko Tripas to be an FC there, even though with 2 slider breaks there, but regardless, Peru with the top 12 finish, which I would say, that's probably the first that they ever been in the Mania World Cup history, are they not?
Yeah, I can't recall them ever getting this far in the tournament before, but massive props to them. They've shown that they can keep up. I think if they did have their full roster today, even they could have definitely taken quite a few of these points off of South Korea and made it super close, but it is going to be South Korea in the end winning this one out. Props to Zinko Trippers as well, even though falling behind in a lot of these maps did manage to fill in quite well overall with that combo.
Yeah, quite a massive feat to achieve there, although South Korea will have to face against Indonesia in this case. So that one is a matchup for, I guess for tomorrow, I think, because I think the schedule would say that it's probably for around probably at the same time, I would say.
Yeah, I can have a look at the schedule right here. It is going to be 10 UTC on the Sunday, going to be Korea versus Indonesia. So that is going to be a really exciting match. Both of those teams winning their own matches 6-1 in fairly strong showings for both of those teams. So exciting match going to be lined up here for the losers bracket. And speaking of losers bracket, we have more really exciting matches coming up right now, in fact.
Yeah, 40 seconds from now is going to be Hong Kong versus Philippines. Another losers, I guess the lower bracket matchup, which, it's it's kind of hard to tell because Hong Kong is also in the lower bracket as well after being beaten by United Kingdom on the previous round. So having them here is quite a matchup because they're the clear favorites as well, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. Really strong, overall losers bracket that we're seeing. Pretty much any of these teams that I'm looking at still in the losers bracket are teams that could pretty much make it all the way, I think, to top 3 even. So interesting to see who comes out on top here between Hong Kong and Philippines. Historically, one that you would think the Philippines would be favored in, given their name value, but Hong Kong this year definitely been looking super strong.
Yeah, absolutely. But I believe we're probably going to have a commentary swap here. But in the meantime, we are looking to be seeing two commentator swap. But while we're waiting for the commentary swap to happen, be sure to check out the O-Store for the team banners that are available now in the Mania World Cup 2025. You can purchase team banners as well to support your favorite teams. And what if one of the teams that you are supporting actually do end up winning for the World Cup 2025, you get to keep that team banner for much longer than you used to be right now. So go to check out the O-Store.
Yes.
Oh, hello there. Looks like we have our commentators swapping in here. So welcome, Juan.
Hello.
And Sunapple.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome, Juan. Sunapple is our two commentators that are tuning in for this particular matchup. So I believe we're going to have to take our leave. So have fun.
Oh, you just take your leave for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know about
exactly.
leaves, but leaves, sure. Like,
It is a bit cramped in this closet, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna hit the eject button, and they'll be gone. Anyway. Oh wow, they actually went out. That's amazing.
It seems like it worked.
All right, I guess I did the stand snap or something. But anyway, welcome everyone. I guess you've been watching for a while. I'm just joining. By Sunapple here. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing so well. It is a bit early for me, but I've become used to this at this point, and I'm really excited to be able to commentate an Asian match, which is Hong Kong versus Philippines.
Well, I mean, there is the argument that you can make that you're just starting the day, so just end your commentary that you have all the day ahead of you, and you can do whatever you want, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna be sleeping the entire day because holy, this has been a week.
It truly has been.
Hong Kong versus the Philippines. We've been talking about this match before it started, and some people may think this match may be an easy win for Hong Kong if you look at the seed discrepancies. But if you check the results, like the score gaps between them two teams in the quarterfinals, there are a couple of matches that were insanely close if you just see at their top performances.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it before. I wouldn't even just say a couple. I feel like every single one of their maps, maybe except for like Rice 2, were within 1,000 points for Hong Kong. And I feel like it really depends on how these teams are scaling to this level. I think Hong Kong will be able to scale fine, but it's going to be about how Philippines is playing, since I know a lot of their players kind of struggle a lot more on the more dense maps.
Oh, we'll see a double Rise ban here. So Hong Kong is banning Rise 1 and Philippines is banning Rise 3. I'm not sure if this is an often seen sight rather. But I guess it makes sense. These teams are pretty good at long notes and high hits in general. Like Philippines always been the strong LN team, and makes sense that they have been protecting LN1. That's like the pick that usually Philippines wins against pretty much every team. But even still, Hong Kong banning Rise 1 I think is kind of the odd thing. I'm not sure how well the Philippines scales physically, and maybe that was a good pick to go for.
Yeah, I think if you're believing that Philippines will scale really well, I think a Rice 1 ban is pretty good, though also some more techie map could also work, just because generally more physical teams have a huge advantage on those. But I feel like this Rice 3 ban from Philippines is not actually the best in my opinion, just because we'll have to see how it goes, but I feel like the Philippines scales a lot less on LNs than Rice.
Well, they're going to be going for hybrids instead of their protector starter, which is a fair strategy. We're going to be seeing Anemone. And of course we get the most disgusting song out of the pool first. I mean, that's just my opinion, I guess. But
what do you mean by the most disgusting?
This song is so annoying.
I don't know. I really like anime, so this is the best song I think in the pool for me.
Oh my god. I mean, I also like anime, don't get me wrong, but not this. Professionals have standards.
I'm a professional. I have these standards.
Oh my god.
We'll see how it goes. I honestly feel like this hybrid one pick is pretty good from Philippines. This is more of a speedy hybrid, so I think it'll show off their ability to play late game in terms of the Rice stuff, especially something like Rice 2, which is a lot faster than some of the other Rice maps. And also, if you feel like you've seen that you're doing really, really well in the LN sections, you can start off this match by just continuing on the LNs.
True. This is also a pretty short map, so I guess if you've been warming up for a while, then maybe you can take advantage against a team that's maybe starting, a bit early, but because here this is two Asian teams, I don't know. They're both in pretty equal conditions, I would argue. But even still, we'll see how it goes. Anemone is being picked by the Philippines. I wouldn't be surprised if the Philippines tries to go for like the more lighter picks of the pool, especially in the LN and hybrid department, and Hong Kong may want to go for some Rice every now and then. I will see as the map starts. Almost reaching the 400 combo mark, and it is insanely close as we expected at the start of the match.
Yeah, this always does happen at the start of maps, especially something like this where the intro isn't too dense, but as we're going further and further in, Philippines does have a slight lead off the back of Kuraha, having a slightly lower accuracy than everybody in the lobby and also consistently taking some 200s.
But hey, I'm just, of course, being sarcastic with the song choice. Don't roast me in the chat like that. In any case, going back to the match now, this lead from the Philippines seems to be extending as we enter the second half of this. But if you see the accuracies, I mean, Silicos is starting to struggle a little bit, and that's actually going to drop the lead ever so slightly in favor of the Hong Kong team right now.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is enough. It's been flickering the whole time. Hong Kong needs to keep their accuracies in check. Eva and Pana have been doing so well on this map that it's been keeping the Philippines still in this, even with the really dirty miss from Silicosis.
Oh, this is going to come down to the wire as we're entering the final bits here. The Laoi jumps routine to the long notes. And it seems to be favoring slightly the Hong Kong team, but if you see this long nose on the first and fourth column, those accuracies are being dropped a little bit on the left side, but so are they in Silicos' screen, which is end up going to cost them the point for 2,570 points. Hong Kong is going to take the break point on the very first map of the match. And honestly, look at those ratios. They are very, very close. If anything, they are slightly better for Philippines.
Yeah, they definitely are. I think it was just off the back of Silicosis getting a few too many 200s in those sections is the reason why Hong Kong was able to take this breakpoint. So I think going forward, Philippines may actually have a slight advantage on these hybrids just because they're a lot more technical, and I feel like having an accuracy advantage is a lot better on technical maps.
Well, yeah, I mean, having an accuracy advantage is always better, but when you have tech maps, usually there's bigger gaps, I feel. In maps like this that are more straightforward, the accuracy gap is not that big, so any section that you kind of lose some focus or drop a little bit, you're going to be behind. And I guess that's what happened to the Philippines, right? Because they were holding fairly strong for like the first half of the map, and as soon as Silicosis started to drop a little bit of accuracy, the lead instantly switched it back. Kind of unfortunate there. I feel the Philippines had what it takes to take that point. They just couldn't have the perfect run they were hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, as I did say earlier, these teams were off by maybe 1,000 points in the last round, and it's looking like we're going to see that again. We are going to go to LN2, so this is going to be our density map, probably another map where it's going to be extremely close, depending on how well these teams are able to play this speed. But I mean, looking at the hybrid one, I think they're more than comfortable at this.
So is this going to be the kind of match that you just get all the high res and all the long notes, and then it comes down to whoever struggles the least with Rice.
Possibly. I mean, it'd be really, really funny if that's the case. We did see the two Rice bans, so these teams definitely just don't want to play Rice at all. But I don't know if Philippines can continue on this LN and hybrid path, especially depending on this map. I think if they do win it, it is smart for them to continue on LNs, but we'll just have to see. This is an OSU original, so it is great to see this song being played.
Oh, absolutely. Like I was wondering, like this sounds familiar, but I don't think I heard this before that much. Well, of course, on the map will showcase, I mean. Like, it has this vibe that I feel like I heard before, but I'm trying to wonder what is the name of the song. This reminds me a lot, but I guess I'll have to think about it as the map plays out, because we are starting. Hong Kong's taking a lead at the start, but again, barely a lead. This is more of a density LM pick, so anytime you miss in a map like this, you can column log, and that's not what happened to Lively Peninsula, but they dropped a lot of accuracy over there. And their hit concentration is quite spread compared to pretty much everybody else in the lobby. But Plan is also starting to drag, and that lead from Hong Kong is just skyrocketing high off the back of Quotient, who is just destroying this map.
Yeah, another miss comes out from Yvette, and Quotient is just absolutely dominating, doing considerably better than everybody else in the lobby. It's honestly kind of scary just to see how well their accuracy has been on this map. And Philippines not doing the worst, it's just these two misses have been really, really devastating for their team. 15k lead right now for Hong Kong, and it's still rising because the Philippines' accuracies are just significantly lower than Hong Kong.
Oh, there's some samples here that reminds me of like Snail House, I think it is. I don't know why. But in any case, we're entering the last quarter of this, and the Philippines is pretty much praying for a miracle at this point, because Hong Kong is just very consistent here. They are not dropping any combos whatsoever, and their accuracies are honestly just better than Philippines across the board. Like, Quotient now finally drops, but so does like Lively Peninsula. And that trade's just gonna probably favor the Philippines ever so slightly, but with this gap, with this 16,000 points of difference, there's not enough time really for Philippines to do anything about it. And it's gonna be 18k in favor of Hong Kong here. Very, very solid ratio and score there by Quotient, but unfortunately getting those couple misses, and that's like column log, if you will, at that bit of the map around the 3k combo mark. But everybody else on the Hong Kong team manages to full combo, and that's a very, very solid team score.
Yeah, that was a dominant performance from Hong Kong too. I mean, double FCs is really, really impressive, and almost a 990 from Kuraha. It's now time for Philippines to pick. I was a bit afraid of Philippines' ability to play LNs since the start of the map. And I mean, it seems like I was kind of right. I would think that Philippines may want to go for Rice and just stay away from LNs as much as possible, since, I mean, Hong Kong is most likely just going to pick them already.
Yeah, if you go back in time, you see, like, if you can take the Lively Peninsula before the injuries here, I will say they'd probably win this map.
Maybe. Hong Kong's team score is really, really strong.
Well, yeah, but if you compare the scores one by one, they had two matching scores. The big difference was between Peninsula and Quotient. That's not really, like, because they had a miss at the end, but you had 986, 987, 984, 984 on both sides. That is just the gap between the other two players. So I feel the Philippines was just missing one more good score. Like, not good, but like great score. And I feel like that's just the injury in most cases, I feel, was the cause of that.
Yeah, possibly, but I mean, this is all the fictional scenario. What we really do have is
the alternate dimension.
Philippines.
You could say we had a 6 billion alternative universes. We picked one.
Wait.
And now we're in this one.
That's so true. I am not a fan of this pick. I just don't trust Philippines' LN ability right now. They have been really, really strong in LNs in the past. It's just like, right now they've struggled a lot, even in the previous pools, just because Lively Peninsula has been really struggling on these kind of more physical maps.
I mean, they probably feel comfortable on this, I will imagine, compared to... Like, they had a really good score on long note too. So I'm not sure if this is as bad of a thing. Like, Hong Kong had some struggles at the end with their best player, so why can't they also struggle in a map that is, you know, more coordination-ish, where the pattern is more technical and difficult in some cases? So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Like, it feels like in a map like this, it will come down to who... I mean, obviously, this is happening in every single map, but with the coordination patterns, it's a matter of can you hold your combo through it? And we see Quotient with Mirror, which makes me believe they may have struggled with mind blocks in the past in this map. Potentially. We'll see. I don't think this is that bad of a pick.
We'll just have to see how it goes, though. Starting off, it does immediately give a bit of a lead for Hong Kong, less than 1k, and it's flickering. But I mean, I feel like we're seeing this lead kind of grow in favor of Hong Kong. Not really, actually.
I mean, it's kind of close. It's mostly off of the back of Plana Star, was a bit rough, but now they're saying to start to stabilize, and Quoting is dropping even further. So Philippines is going to take a not comfortable, but certainly a lead. Like, it's not just flickering anymore. It's firmly in the side of the blue team here. About 3,000 points in their favor. I bet this map is 3 minutes long, so we'll see if they can hold that through the end of it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of eating my words here. Lively Peninsula actually top scoring in the lobby, doing extremely well in their accuracy right now. And that's been what's helping Philippines a lot, alongside the miss from Quotient earlier, but I mean, 3k lead isn't just from that, but that actually takes a break, and that's going to switch the lead for Hong Kong at this point.
Is it? It's going to be very close. Like, the accuracy is fairly strong in the side of the Philippines. It's flickering, it will flip, but just barely, really. Oh, this song is so good, though.
I'm very happy that this is an OC original. It's Marmalade Butcher is one of the best artists, and Yvette has been able to stabilize very, very well, and it's flickering at this point. I cannot tell who is winning. Plana has been able to stabilize since the start of the map, but Quotient has too, and this lead is all over the place.
Oh my god, it's so close. You have to see Kureha, really. I think that's the key player here. If they can keep this combo up, Hong Kong has what it takes here, but they are the player who's spreading the most. They are the player who's struggling the most on the left side. And they need to hold. They need to hold until the end. It's only a third, maybe even less, a quarter of the map remaining that they need to stay with the full combo here. And Lively Peninsula is going to drop first, but so does Quotient at this very same spot. And scores are still equal. If anything, this will slightly favor the Philippines. That was the best accuracy on Hong Kong's side. But the score gap still on the hundreds in favor of the red team here, and the map is almost over. Kureha needs to hold, so does Mina. And they are, and even pushing, I will argue. And the lead is growing. Hong Kong will take the point at the very end of it if they just hold their combos together. And they don't! At the end there's a miss by Kureha, but it's too late. Too little, too late for them. And they're still winning, but just barely. They just need 50 more notes and the comeback was on.
Yeah, I do think Lively Peninsula's miss was just so dirty. If they took even 1 or 2 less 100s, had a slightly cleaner miss, they would have taken that point. 1k is almost nothing in this at this point in the match.
Plana over there with the best score, despite the rough start. And it wasn't enough at the end of it. And again, that single miss from Lively Peninsula is what ended up costing the team. And honestly, that 50 by Livet as well, very, very unfortunate. Overall, it felt like the Philippines had the overall better scores, like the raw scores, but they choked the chokes ended up costing them the point. It was very, very close.
Yeah, we are up 3-0 for Hong Kong, but it does not feel like that. Both Philippines picks have been decided by less than 2,000 points. And I hope we don't see that again. It is time for Hong Kong's pick. Maybe LN2 was the only map that they had any sizable lead on. We do go on to LN4.
We go into the Camellia train, so probably after this we see Dance La Mer de Sun. I don't know. Mayhap. I was about to say Silicos is playing Silicos' 2 map. That would be funny. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I feel like Philippines roster is going to stay the same for this map, but...
Yeah, Silicosis is not an LN player, so it would be very surprising to see if they do come in. Especially considering how good Yvette Plana and Lively Peninsula are on LN. Meow. Meow meow.
Oh yeah, this is why you were asking. Why is everyone spamming meow in the chat? That's why.
This song really does just meow a lot. It's looking like Hong Kong's roster is getting chosen right now. Koshpin, Quotient, Minato, Aquafan. I think Quotient and Minato, Aquafan are probably going to be staying for these LNs. We do only have one more left after this, which is LN1, but we'll see whether Philippines is going to choose it after this and maybe complete the... What is it whenever it's for? Quadrillion? I don't know. But starting off, it is time. Will Philippines be able to take a pick and a breakpoint right now? I think this is kinda... If Philippines is able to take a breakpoint right now, it's kinda big considering that they've lost 2 in a row. They would only be down 1 extra breakpoint.
That is true. We'll see. As the map is starting, I'll argue this is one of the longest, I guess the longest map as well of the pool outside of the tiebreaker, 3 minutes 34. And lots of meowing. I feel this is the LN style that favors Hong Kong a little bit better because more like flowy, less coordination heavy, more into, you know, just going along with the pattern, maybe dropping some accuracy, but not so much on the combo department, and that's gonna favor them. It's a bit more physical too, I'll see. But we'll see. So far, the score gap is essentially insignificant. Like, it's about 100 points of difference between the two teams who are just trading 200s every now and then between the two. And as it stands, we're only a third way through the map, and Hong Kong seems now to be on a stable lead of a K, but it was just very close until now.
Yeah, Lively Peninsula taking a few too many 200s, but Yvette's score has been dominating the lobby, and that's why this has been so close. No Filipino player can take a break at this moment, because if they do, this lead will just skyrocket to Hong Kong. It is already only in the 3 digits. Any 200s will swing it over to either team.
Halfway through the map, no drops whatsoever. Check the accuracies, really. Everything is very, very stable and close. It's just that Livid has the highest accuracy of the lobby and Peninsula has the lowest. And that gap between the two is enough, really. Oh, but there's a miss now from Plana. Never mind. That was looking like it was very, very close. But at some point, the red voucher started growing. Wondering why, I see to the bottom right of my screen and Plana dropped. Unfortunately for Philippines, who are now going to be 4-0 behind if they cannot find a breakthrough this. And the lead just keeps growing. In a map that is long, the lead's increasing. Means that you have a huge lead, really. Every node counts for less when the map is very long. And 5.5k. I don't even know if the miss is enough. But there's a miss by Minato Aquafan. And it feels like I'm rhyming when I'm casting for some reason. I don't know why that happened. But in any case, score gap is now closing. It's not going to be enough. Philippines need one more, and there is one more by Quotien. Philippines is back, and they're taking the lead with only 8 of the map remaining, but they need to hold. If they drop accuracy, they may fold, and it is Lively Peninsula who drops. And it's going to be the end for them at the end of the day. Philippines cannot hold the full combo, and it's over, really, unless we see a miss from Koshev, who just joins to carry Hong Kong into another victory here.
Yeah, the Philippines is constantly missing. Yeah, the Philippines is constantly missing. We see another miss from Lively Peninsula, and Plana struggled a lot on that earlier section. And right now, this lead for Hong Kong is going to be secured. Hong Kong up 4-0 at this moment. Even with the 2 pretty dirty drops from Hong Kong, they still are able to take it.
Wow. That was heartbreaking, honestly. The match for Philippines felt heartbreaking across the entirety of it so far. Like, they are doing immensely well, and at some point they just crumble. They just cannot keep up with the pool anymore. And this is the scaling we were talking about. Hong Kong, albeit they are missing every now and then, but not as often as the Philippines. But if you see just the 200s and the ratios, it really feels as the two teams are insanely close and very, very equal. But at the end of the day, if you miss more and the match is equal, then you're just gonna lose. And that's what's happening to the Philippines so far.
Yeah, I really do need Philippines to not pick LN1 if I'm gonna be real. I need Philippines to go for Rice.
No, I think it's just being LN1.
I think so, but I just don't think it's the play. You've lost every single one, even if it has been close. Go for something different.
I think LN1 is a good pick, actually, but I understand the reasoning behind. Like, this is the long knock pools that we're talking about. They've been this close. Maybe just the Philippines knows they are behind on Rice and it doesn't make sense to just go for them.
I don't know. My thinking is that Hong Kong is 100% going to be choosing LN1. So, like, if you give yourself a breakpoint, a possibility for a breakpoint by not choosing LN1. And we do see Rice 6 coming out, which is, I think, probably a really good pick.
Geksho Infinity. 2 minutes and 21 seconds. And this is just it is just an anime dump, is it?
I'm not. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's just regular tech.
Well, I mean,
it could be
yeah,
dumb,
like you have like Klutz mini jacks mostly, but it's like this just cannot not be anime dump. This sounds way too much like anime dump.
That is definitely true. But I do really, really like this pick, and as I was saying earlier, I think if Philippines really wants to win this match, they have to find ways to get breakpoints since they are down 2. And I think having the hybrid pool where you're pretty close on, and the one LN map where you're also pretty close on, giving yourself an ability to be able to actually take a breakpoint is really, really big, since we don't know how these Rice are gonna go. Also, it is anime dump.
Yay! So okay, hear me out. This kind of anime I can get behind.
This kind?
It's not the background. It's not because of the background. Do not. So, anyways, going into the map now. Let's see some anime, and it's gonna be Rice 6, picked by the Philippines, 5th pick of the match. Philippines looking to strike their first point. Innovating, being creative with the Rice here after picking every single LM pick outside of LM1 and losing pretty much every single one of them. Albeit very close, they're gonna try something different here. Bullseye and Valeria both joining the Philippines side, and Puff as well on Hong Kong.
Yeah, and quarter way through the map, this lead is honestly still flickering. Valeria doing super, super well, top scoring in the lobby. Povkol struggling a lot more, but so is Volpsy. So it's being traded out all the way.
It's pretty close still, a third of the way through. Philippines leading very marginally, but leading nonetheless. And this is a Volpsy versus Povkol matchup, really, because everybody else is doing really, really solidly, but the third player on both teams are so equal, but if any of the two just drops or struggles for a section, the lead instantly flips to the other side. I'll be looking at the bottom side of left and right screen here. Those are the focus points. I'll be looking at the left side, you're looking at the right side. Never mind, there's a miss by Valeria. One of the better players on the Philippines. In fact, they're still holding the best accuracy of the lobby despite the miss, but that drop is going to cost them pretty much a lot. But 6,000 points of difference now in favor of Hong Kong.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to take a miss from Hong Kong in this last quarter, and this team is looking so consistent. But honestly, I'm not sure whether they'll be able to hold their FCs till the end. This map just continues to get more and more difficult as we get further and further in. But a sliver of map left, 6k lead for Hong Kong. It's looking like they'll be taking a third breakpoint in a row, going up 5-0 on match point against the Philippines. Philippines is going to have their backs against the wall. They must win every single point from now on. A three-way FC from Hong Kong is able to secure it.
That was a dominating performance by Hong Kong over there. The only glimmer of hope was those 2 100s from Povkol. That could have been a miss and perhaps the difference. And look at the score from Valeria. That's a sad. That's just sad emoji. That's just smoke.
It really
One
is.
miss, B1 SS with the best ratio of the lobby. Like, I wonder if that's NFC, do they win?
That's what I'm
think
trying
they
to figure
do.
out.
I think they do.
Actually know. I think it'd be.
It would be
feel
very
like
close,
they
but I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. Another, because Valeria's act was so much higher than the difference between the supporting scores and the supporting scores from Hong Kong. But now for Philippines, they've been just so close to winning these maps. If it's just slightly more in their favor, if one little error doesn't happen, they could have won so many of these maps. And we're going to need to see some luck on the Philippines side at this point. Hong Kong still has LN1, still has the 2 hybrids.
I've seen reverse sweeps happen before, but I'm not sure if I saw them in Mania. Like, Mania is a very difficult mode to come back from a deficit like this, because players in general are so consistent and accuracy is so important. Like, you really need to do a very bad strategy to be 5-0 down and then win, because it just, like, you probably lost in every single aspect of the game and there's not much points that you can still take. And that's what happened to the Philippines here. They lost on hybrids, lost on Rice, and lost on an ends, and yeah, there's not much that you can really do. I don't think this pick was necessarily all that bad. Like, they were honestly one miss off winning. Had that miss not existed on the Philippines side, they probably take it very, very marginally, but they still take it. And that pretty much happened on every map they lost. Like, 6 billion was insanely close. The Cat was insanely close. Even Hybrid 1, I feel, was pretty close.
Yeah, basically everything except for LN2 was extremely close. But I don't know, I feel like so far everything has been so close. And if Philippines is just able to just push past their limits just a bit further, they will be able to take so many maps. And the maps left are still very, very technical. Like, they're not necessarily all over the place in terms of like their technicality, but I mean, I think the only simple maps are like LN1 and then the two top Rice, which I don't know if Hong Kong really want to be going for that.
Hybrid 2 it is. Dance La Mer de Son. It's going to be their choice. Potentially the final map picked of the match. Potentially the last map Philippines plays this tournament. This is a losers bracket encounter, remember? And I feel I saw this map, not this map, but like this song, pretty much every MWC at some point. This is like the Danger and Danger of Taiko, was it? No, what was the song that Taiko used a lot? No, it's not Danger and Danger. It's oh my, what is the name of this song? I'm gonna search it up.
Yes, I had no clue. I mean, I think it's just like Camellia, this kind of style. I know last year, was last year the Mugen Hoyo one? I can't remember off the top of my head. But I mean, Camellia LN hybrid, very consistent. Camellia mid LN hybrid, I think, is the main thing. I know Mint, you're in the chat, you can probably correct me of what Camellia song was used last year, but I think I know Mugen Hoyo was one of them, and that's what this song always reminds me of. Maybe it was like Kisaragi, I can't remember. But it is time. Philippines needs to win these maps. We are seeing Silicosis in, so I'm I definitely believe in Philippines. I kind of feel like because Silicosis is in, like, maybe they'll have a higher advantage because it is going to be just a bit more physical.
Oh, is it R176? I don't remember. I'm just still searching for the song. Yep, it was R176. That was the Taiko song. Okay, never mind. Back to Mania. I believe in the Philippines. I think that they have a shot here. I'm not sure if they can win the match, but I feel they can definitely win this map.
I believe. I think the Philippines can do it. And early miss from Quotient, good signs. Maybe luck is on the Philippine side at this moment.
I think this will come down to the shields in the second half, really. I think that's the turning point. Like, there's a lot of jacks here, which could be a problem, but considering we have Silicosis playing this map, I feel they may not have that much of a problem there. But the problem here really relies on Quotient, who's under 99% right now, struggling. 2 misses now so far. Good start for the Philippines.
Yeah, extremely strong start. Up 10k, I think this is the biggest lead the Philippines has had all match.
Oh,
and
definitely.
Plana is doing extremely well. As I say that, they missed, but it wasn't dirty, so this lead will still be in the Philippines.
Oh, the
squad.
long jack. It's the long jacks, really. Like, Plana is struggling a lot there. I think there's a set more. Yep, and there's the miss. 2 misses now. Is there one more? No, there's one more. This is the last one. But they managed to combo through it. Okay, damage mitigations. The Philippines still there, still in the lead.
Yeah, it's mostly because Plana's accuracy has been able to be so much higher than Quotient, because Kochman and Kuraha are doing extremely well at this moment. Kochman doing a lot better than Silicosis. That's the matchup. And we're going in. It's looking like the score is flickering once again for the 5th time this match. The score is flickering.
I don't think this is good news for the Philippines, because as we're starting to get into the shields here, this is the point where I can see Silicosis maybe struggling a little bit. But the score's just flickering back and forth stance. There's no big accuracies anywhere, really. It's just Kureha and Livid, who are on the 99.68, 67, matching themselves. But Plana now drops on the shields, on the mini jack specifically. And the accuracy is still very sharp, but the score gap is just huge now in favor of Hong Kong, 7,000 points. And there's no drops, there's no more map. And the story just repeats as it was in every single map. Philippines has the lead, drops, and then loses. And there's another miss now by Plana, 2 in a row. Struggling there with the coordination, holding 1, and then patterning on the other 3s. Quotient is going to trade, but the lead is just untouchable right now. 13,000 points and growing in favor of Hong Kong, who's going to sweep the semifinals matchup. Bans into the losers bracket through next match this week, really. They still have a match to play.
Yeah, They play, I believe, Thailand or Canada. But, I mean, this has been 6-0. It does not feel like a 6-0, though, at all. Every single map has been extremely close. It has been decided by a few handful of misses.
I mean, honestly, this match could be 3-3 and we will not be complaining. Like, they were really just, I will say, 4 maps maybe that were very, very close. I think 3 of those Philippines got either a little bit unlucky or inconsistent. I feel the other one was just close, but Hong Kong was better. And this match could easily just be 3-3, but it wasn't. Like, that's just tournament play in a nutshell. Like, you can have a very nice and solid performance in general, but you choke and you drop. And this time, Hong Kong proves what they are seen them before. Their consistency really is what put them there in the qualifiers. And now they're proving themselves and everyone that they're still in it. They still have that dog in it. And I feel we may see more from Hong Kong, even into the finals. I think Canada or Thailand are gonna be worthy opponents, but we'll see if they have what it takes. They're gonna be playing in an hour from now. We'll have a better look on how that matchup is gonna look like.
Yeah, this bracket is already shaping out. These next few matches are honestly going to be kind of intense. I know Korea, Indonesia is going to happen, and that's going to be a very interesting one.
Korea, Indonesia seems great, to be honest. Like, the fact that Indonesia got locked down into the losers bracket so early was shocking, but it's also shocking how good they are playing on the losers bracket, so we'll see. Korea also didn't look the sharpest, I feel, against Peru, despite the score lead telling you otherwise. I don't know, I feel that match may have some surprises.
We'll have to see, but one last thing that I have to say, and that's about a little thing that everybody could purchase for $2.50 USD called a banner. Exclamation mark banner in the chat. Please type it.
I was about to say, is that a water bottle? But then that's probably too expensive for a water bottle. Is that like a soda? Probably too expensive too, right? I don't know.
I think a soda is probably the same price.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, you can do that then. Don't get your soda. Just drink water, stay hydrated, and use the rest to buy the banner. That sounds like a good deal to me. You can choose the team you like the most, but you can also choose the team you think is going to win. The banner is going to stay longer if you do. If that team wins, rather, not if you choose the one that you think is going to win, but then doesn't. But yeah. You could also do... I've seen some crazy shenanigans where they just buy every single banner available, and your profile is going to look weird, but, I mean, it's your profile, you do you. In any case, I'll suggest you to buy one banner. Support the tournament. If you can, of course. And, yeah. What's the lizard? Oh, that's a lizard. I see a lizard in the chat.
Yeah. Alright, so be sure to buy your banners, y'all. It's only $2.50. It's about the price of a soda can or 10 gumballs. We'll need to find out more conversions. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to tune in to the next match in about an hour and a half. Canada versus Thailand is going to be something that y'all are going to be wanting to watch. See y'all!
Thank you and goodbye.